Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Interviews with Entrepreneurs in South Africa. Today, I'm very excited to be chatting with Lungile Mahlangu. And Lungile, if you will tell us a little bit more about your business and why you started it and when you started it.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Melanie. My business is 5 years this year. Started it in 2015, immediately after I completed my studies. I've always loved fashion. I grew up in a household whereby we were taught from an early age how to knit, how to do beadwork, how to just work with your hands. So the more I grew up, I ended up branching into the fashion side of life, and I was encouraged from primary school to pursue it. So it has always been my first and last career option.
Okay. Now that's very brave going straight from kind of school and college and all of that straight into being self-employed without working for somebody else. What gave you that courage?
Well, while I was studying, I could say I tried to work for someone else part time just to gain a little bit of experience, but it did not go well. I learned what I learned. I saw what things that I liked and things that I did not like. And so immediately after my studies, trying to look for a job was taking forever and time was not on my side. I just wanted to work. I just wanted to work. And I knew that the sooner I start, I will not stop. So I just need to start and everything else will take care of itself.
That's such a wonderful attitude to have because I know in South Africa a lot of people are just waiting for a job that's not manifesting. So to have the courage to take it into your own hands and just do it, I think is incredible, especially in somebody as young as you are.
Thank you. Thank you. It was. And I had a cousin who stayed with me and she looked for a job for so many years. At some point, I was tempted to say, let's just do people's hair. Let's just keep ourselves busy while you're looking for a job. But by the way, I was still studying at that time. So I saw how much that took out of her and how it drained her to look for a job for so long. So immediately when I completed my studies, I was like, a job will find me somewhere, somehow busy. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. I just didn't want to go through what she went through when she was staying with us.
Okay, that's such a valuable insight. I think it's going to inspire a lot of other people to try. And what have been your biggest challenges?
My biggest challenge is it's so weird, but it's convincing people that I'm actually making the work that I'm posting on my social media. Because, a lot of people, when they come to meet me for the first time, they're looking for somebody a bit taller, somebody that's a bit fitted. And here I am. I'm you could say I weigh 11 to 12, and I'm in my late 20s. But when it comes
Okay.
to clothing, I still fit into 11 to 12 clothing. And they're looking for somebody, they shocked. Everybody's just a bit shocked when they meet me for the first time because they're expecting a total different person physically, and here I am. And I'd say also one of my biggest challenges would be just getting the right target market for your type of clothing that you want,
Okay.
because there seems to be, when you are a fashion designer, you are just sewing what anyone can find anywhere else, or you are just doing what our aunties did back in the days. So it's quite hard to convince people that this is where I'm going with my creativity. These are the type of clothing that I'm trying to get you guys to wear. So please, like, believe in this thing. I'm not just making clothes. Yes, I'm making clothes, but I am going in a different direction. I have style. I have new way of dressing that I want to introduce to you guys. So that's one of the biggest challenges that I have.
It's very interesting to hear that you still are kind of almost in the body of a little girl and that is a barrier to entry for you. Do people expect somebody older when they come into your studio for
I
fitting?
think so. Yes. Not
Okay.
even for fitting. So the first time consultation ever. They're
Mm.
expecting a sister, and
Okay.
like, yes. you're looking for me. I'm the person that's gonna help you. But
Yes.
some eventually trust me, and we make beautiful clothes, and they come back, and now we are all happy in a relationship of making clothes.
Okay. I know I had that experience some years ago. My sister used to help me in my business, and she's a decade older than me. But it was my business, and I had trained her, and she was helping me in my business. And I know when we went to Fashion Week and events like that, people were always very confused uh, that they were speaking to me as the business owner and not to her. So I kind of understand where you're coming from with that. It can be quite an interesting paradigm shift.
It is, but I'm not even offended by it. I'm just having fun.
Well, it can also be your USP, your unique selling point, is that you are a young person making clothing for other young people and that you understand the needs of the younger generation. I think that's very important.
Yes, it is very important. So like I said, I'm not even offended by it. I am just having fun. Once we start working and we learn to trust each other, we make pretty things.
Okay. So do you make bespoke garments or do you put together a collection that then you then take to Fashion Week or something like that?
I'm still mostly busy with bespoke garments. I think it's freedom. Not that I'm against Fashion Week. I also love Fashion Week, and I'm working towards getting there. But I'm also still having fun with my one-on-one consultations and just taking the time out. But I love Fashion Week,
Okay.
and I did a couple of local small shows here and there. And once I started getting more customers, then I stopped and focused on working with them and other things that I needed to focus on. But yeah, I want to go back. I want to go to Fashion Week and bring an entire collection of me to Fashion Week.
Okay, and in South Africa, we've got AFI and SA Fashion Week. Of those two big events, which would you prefer to showcase at, and why?
I think, I think AFI, because I just feel like it there's more freedom. Like it's okay. SA Fashion Week is also big. I've been there and I saw a couple of shows. That was nice, but I think with what I would want to show and bring, I'd want to take it to AFI.
Mm, mm. I think AFI has kind of more of a continental feel to it. It's the whole of Africa, whereas SA Fashion Week is kind of very South Africa focused.
Yes.
Okay. And which South African designers do you look up to?
The young one or the older generation?
Oh no, both. Who are your role models?
Okay, I'll start with the young ones because I literally just loving where they're going, what they do. I like what Rich Nisi is doing.
Yes.
I love everything that he's doing and where he's going with his brand. And I also love that he's known for the work that he does, which and his work is good. We don't know him personally, but we know the work, and the work speaks for itself. Which I think is also what I want. I want people to know my work more than me. And who else? My Xhosa, Laduma. I love his work and where he's going. I think they just showing that a South African brand can be premium. It can sell in high stores and be internationally, which is good, you know, because they work hard.
Yes. Do you see your clothing one day in international stores?
Yes, I do. I That's the whole plan. I think that's the whole mission. And I think it's one of the reasons why I named my brand Shirley Joseph and I did not add creations or designs or anything. I just chose two names that meant a lot to me and it worked. And also it gives like people want to know who Shirley Joseph is, what
Mm.
what it is, what we do, and only to find that it's a fashion brand and it's a local fashion brand.
Mm.
So that gives, I think it gives me better sleep at night.
So how did you come up with that name?
Shirley is my second name, and Joseph it's my dad's first name.
Okay.
So yeah, it just made sense, and I ran with it.
I think that's actually quite smart because Shirley Joseph will translate into a global market also.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And how I thought of it, it was just so quickly. I was just putting together a business plan for an entrepreneur module thing, and they're like, come up with a name. You need to have a reason for the name. The reason must be personal. Then you will be interested. And then I came up with it, and I submitted the business plan.
And what was the business plan for? Were you applying for funding, or was it something that you did at college?
I was still in college. I was still
Okay.
studying.
Okay, so it's something that you developed in college and that you've carried forward with you.
Yes.
Where did you study fashion design?
I studied at Demlin in Menlyn.
Okay,
They call it fashion design in retail buying.
okay,
Then I went to an FET. I did clothing production.
okay, okay. So you have studied and you've got the basics down.
Yes, because I respected the course and I wanted to know exactly what it takes, where it starts, what to do, get the terminology so I can know what I'm talking about. I can know where to start things and where things are going. And before that, I had no background of fashion at all. The only clothing I could make was a piece of clothing for my dolls. That's all I could make before that. So I had to go in.
Is it exciting for you now to kind of dream up a design and turn it into a finished item?
It is. It's so exciting. You
Okay.
know, it's as stressful as it is to travel from one fabric shop to another. To me, it's lit. It's the dream. It's the eat. Then I don't sleep. I'm cutting the whole night. I'm sketching. Just watching the complete thing
Mm.
makes it feel all worth it. And seeing the owner of the garment being so happy and excited that you were able to bring their vision to life and interpret it, it's it's happiness. And I normally thank them afterwards. I'll be like, thank you for trusting me with this. Thank you
Oh,
so much. I
lovely.
also had fun in making it. I'm glad that you're this happy. Because we talk, some of my clients, because we've worked together for quite some time, so our relationship has grown. So we talk whether I'm making stuff for them or not. We still keep in touch. We still exchange ideas, and so it's I love what I do. I love it.
Oh, that clearly shines through. And who's your ideal customer? What sort of people do you normally
um,
sell to?
I sell to people my age in their 20s who have recently started working, and they have events every now and then. They like things, they into Instagram, they into beautiful things. But what will surprise you is I also have quite a few clients who are in their 50s, 40s, and people who don't just want what's on the picture, but they're able to interpret it. Because I feel like the older, I can see it with my mom as well. She's in her 50s, but my mom understands fashion more than a person who's my age, more than a person who has Instagram. So she knows, so it's easy to talk to them because they know the seams, they know the darts, they know the pleats. And I enjoy working with them. They're all my mothers. I call them moms. They're all my mothers whenever they call me. I
That's
enjoy working with
wonderful.
them because they just want something that's well made, something that suits them, and as long as they feel comfortable in it, and it's
Mm,
well made and it's them, and you get their brief right, then you're done. They're
mm,
happy.
mm.
They're happy. They're not even into what Beyonce's wearing.
Yes.
So they just want to fit well, to look good, to be well made, and they're happy.
So you really make garments for the people who are buying them. So they're custom fit, and it's what they want, not necessarily what's trending right now.
Yes, yes, because I believe clothing should be timeless. And when you have something that's timeless, you're able to style it in different ways.
Yes.
Um, Also, hence my slogan says modern made classic. The modern is the now. It looks trendy, but it's made in a classic way that you're able to wear it for quite some time, and you're able to dress it up and down, and you're able to wear it on a weekend and during the week. Because I believe people should have a bigger closet is that suits their lifestyle.
I love that. I love that. I love that you're not just slavishly following all the trends from season to season.
It's hard to keep up, but it's hard to keep up. But here's the thing: I don't mind following them. I also follow, and I also dab into playing with the trends, what's in, what's not. But what I normally advise my clients, including myself, is you need to think how often you want to wear the thing, or if you want to keep it for quite some time.
Mm,
Yes, take inspiration from what's in now and apply
mm,
your own style into it. Then
mm,
you're able to manage it throughout. Then you're not put under pressure to follow to be immediately buying what's next, what's next, what's next,
mm,
what's next,
mm,
because
mm,
we also need to save up a bit where we
mm.
can.
And there are definitely some of those trends that you know, like those mullet hemlines and things that you just know are going to be so dated so quickly. Do you
Yes.
ever have customers who come to you with requests for things like that, and then you say to them, you know what, I don't think this is going to be timeless?
You get them always, all the time. And what I try to do is when we busy talking, because I usually tell my customers that collect all your ideas, collect everything that you see and that you like, so that when you come and see me, we are able to get to know each other. I can see what you like. Then I can come in based on your ideas. So I try to advise them that you like this because it's new, it's happening. But if you were to design this for yourself, what would you do? How would you want this to look on you? Let's make it about you now. Let's take what's in, apply your style, what you're comfortable in, and make it about you. So when you walk out there, you can walk out there with something that nobody is wearing, nobody has ever worn, ever, and nobody will ever have. So we make it personal.
I love that. It actually sounds like you're using your people skills as much as your fashion skills.
I should. I should. And I believe it works for me and it works for them as well, because that's when they become comfortable with
Yes.
what they want and with me as well. When I give them the power to say, this is your thing. So let's have your say on what you would like. Then they become excited. It makes them feel like they are part of the designing process as well.
That's wonderful. And where do your new customers come from?
Um, Nowadays, I'm getting customers from Joburg via Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, this entire time I was just getting customers around Pretoria, but as my Instagram grows, because I promote it quite often, I'm getting customers from out of Pretoria.
Okay. That's very cool. So Instagram is working for you.
It is, and also Facebook is doing better, but Instagram nowadays it's really working for me.
Okay, and when you say Facebook, how do you use Facebook for marketing? Do you have a page? Do you work on the groups?
I have a page and I also have a group. And then I also get onto other groups for entrepreneurs where they promote their work. I'm there checking,
Okay.
promoting my work as well. So how Facebook works for me.
Okay. Okay. And do you use Twitter at all?
Yes, I do use Twitter every day,
Okay.
all day. I use
Okay.
Twitter. Yes.
Does it bring you business?
It has times where, depending on what we're talking about, um, who's sharing what,
Yes.
it does, but it's a bit slower than the other social networks.
Okay. Okay. I'm always interested to hear how different businesses put together their social networking Because it seems that every different business has kind of these networks work better for these kinds of businesses, and those networks work better for those kinds of businesses. And what sorts of
Yeah.
fabric do you like working with?
I like I like lace. I like satin. I like your stretchy fabrics, your neoprenes. I like chiffon. Then I like prints in cotton, the African prints in cotton. So those are my um. I'd visit denim every now and then. I'd visit leather because I'm wearing one right now.
Yes.
But so those are just the fabrics that I visit. Leather, denim. I just dab in, but most of the time I'm working with your cottons, your wicks, your laces, your satins, and
Okay.
chiffons.
And are there particular colors that you like working with?
Not really, because I like prints a lot,
Okay.
and so I like many different colors. So I don't have specific colors that I work with.
And have you ever thought of printing your own fabrics?
I have, I have
Okay.
thought about it. Yes, I have thought about it. I have I used to have a sketch app on my phone where I'll just sketch different things and then I'd copy them, paste them together and picture it being a fabric. Then I'll be like, okay, we really need to take it seriously. I have thought about it, but hopefully when the time comes, I will. Timing is everything, hey. I believe
Yes.
as much as I want to do it now, if it's not time, I will not do it. But when the time comes, I will be ready for it,
Yes.
mentally, spiritually, financially. But
Yes.
I am thinking about it. It's just not time yet.
And are you thinking of going digital prints or screen printing?
I think screen printing will do.
Okay. Okay. So you know that I've got a love for lino prints.
I saw,
Okay.
I saw that. I saw that. So yeah, maybe yeah, you'll be the right person for me to get in touch with.
Yeah, it's a very analog way of printing fabric, but it's a great way of doing small runs. It's time consuming, but you could make some really beautiful bespoke things with lino prints. We used to do lino prints for Stone Cherry and Sun Goddess and brands like that some years ago. Um, and it was a very fun process. So you might want to
I can
try
imagine. I can
it.
imagine. I will definitely try it. Like I said, timing is everything. So I
Yes.
will definitely try it.
And it's probably better if you don't go down that rabbit hole. It can become very distracting. And
It is.
and do you have, I know some designers struggle with pricing their products. Do you have any of those kinds of challenges?
I think yes, you get them quite often. Um, Simply because it's people don't really understand the process of making an entire garment.
Mm,
And to some people it's still all about I order and then you go to the shop, you buy the fabric, then you come back, you cut, and my garment is done, you know. And then when you try and explain that, well, there's the process of fabric sourcing, there's a process of where I need to draft, manipulate, grade the parts, and then cut, then sew. It's like you're taking forever. And also, why are you charging for that? You know,
mm,
they seem to not being aware that is a process on its own.
mm,
So they normally just want to pay for the sewing. So you're
mm,
like, but there's a whole different process before the sewing.
mm, mm, mm.
Yes.
And do you think the culture of buying cheap clothing that has been imported from China and places like that has affected uh, perception?
I think it has, hey, it has. And as much as we might not pay attention to it or ignore it, but it has. It would be nice for us to support all our local stores and, you know, allow them to open opportunities for young designers to come and, you know,
Mm,
give them a chance to take all the young brands that are on social media into their stores. Maybe they want to do that, but they're afraid because nobody's actually supporting them. Everybody's
Mm,
just going the
mm,
other way.
mm.
So it's sad, but it's a reality.
Do you
Like,
think that after COVID-19, there's going to be more of a move towards supporting local?
I hope so. I hope so. I'm not 100% sure, but I hope there is, because there's a lot of local businesses. You see them on Twitter every day, you see them on Facebook every day, and it makes you realize that actually we can do everything for ourselves.
Mm,
It's only just a matter of maybe changing a few things here and there, but we are able and capable of doing everything for ourselves. That's what
mm.
I believe.
I love that we can do it mindset that you've got going there. It's very inspiring for everybody watching, I'm sure. So I noticed that we're getting near to the end of our time. Where can we find you on the social networks?
Uh, on Instagram, it's Shirley_Joseph_SA, and on Facebook is Shirley Joseph, and on Twitter is at Lungile Mahlangu, and let's chat away.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for this wonderful interview today. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.